November 18th, 2025. A date that will be remembered for years to come, as the Philippines stands on the edge of a pivotal moment in its history. The Batasang Pambansa complex is electric with tension. Outside, crowds gather, their faces a mix of hope, anxiety, and determination. Inside, lawmakers are locked in a debate that could reshape the Philippines. Every word spoken, every gesture, carries the weight of the nation's future. The Bagong Pilipinas Economic Revitalization Act is on the floor, proposing sweeping amendments to the 1987 Constitution, a document that has defined the country for nearly 4 decades. This isn't just politics, it's about the future of every Filipino. The nation is split, with families, friends, and communities debating what's truly best for the country. Some see this as a rare chance for progress and renewal, a way to finally unlock the country's full potential. Others fear it's a threat to sovereignty, a risk that could undermine hard-won freedoms. Supporters argue the current constitution is an anchor, holding us back from global competitiveness and much-needed investment. They say change is essential for growth. Critics warn of foreign control, growing inequality, and the loss of Filipino identity. They worry that opening doors too wide could leave ordinary citizens behind. The stakes are high. Changes could affect how our economy runs, what rights we hold, and the very fabric of our society. Every Filipino has something to gain and something to lose. This debate isn't just for politicians. It's for every farmer, worker, and OFW. It's about the livelihoods of millions, both here and abroad, who dream of a better tomorrow. The outcome will shape generations, influencing the lives of children in classrooms today and the families they will build in the future. Both sides are passionate, each claiming to fight for the country's good. The debate is fierce, but the desire for a brighter future is shared by all. But what's really at stake? What are the facts behind the speeches, the truths hidden beneath the slogans and sound bites? Today, we break down the debate, piece by piece, separating fact from fiction and giving you the tools to decide for yourself. We'll explore the history, the arguments, and the voices of ordinary Filipinos, those whose lives will be most affected by what happens next. This is a story that belongs to all of us, a chapter in our shared journey as a nation. The nation holds its breath as history unfolds, waiting to see which path we will choose together. Calls to amend the Philippine Constitution, Cha-Cha, have echoed through every administration since 1987. Born from people power, the Constitution was designed to prevent dictatorship and protect Filipino interests. But what once shielded us is now seen by some as a barrier to growth. Past attempts at charter change failed, haunted by memories of martial law and fears of power grabs. Today's proponents claim their focus is economic, not political. No term extensions, just jobs and investments. They point to neighbors like Vietnam and Indonesia, thriving with more open economies. Yet, critics warn, once the door to amendments opens, anything can happen. The process itself, constituent assembly or constitutional convention, remains contentious. The debate is not just about the future, but about reconciling with a difficult past. The ghosts of history still shape every argument. What exactly is the Bagong Pilipinas Economic Revitalization Act, and why is it making headlines across the country? At its core, this act targets Article 12 of the 1987 Constitution, which has long limited foreign ownership in key sectors of the Philippine economy. As it stands, foreigners are allowed to own up to 40% of public utilities, educational institutions, and media companies. When it comes to land, foreign nationals can't own it outright. They can only lease property for a limited period. The proposed act seeks to change this by inserting the phrase "unless otherwise provided by law," which would empower Congress to permit up to 100% foreign ownership in these industries if it chooses. Supporters argue that this bold move will attract much-needed foreign investment, generate new jobs for Filipinos, and help modernize the country's infrastructure, making the Philippines more competitive on the global stage. If passed, these changes could open up vital sectors like utilities, education, and media to full foreign control for the first time in Philippine history. This marks a dramatic shift from decades of economic protectionism to a more liberalized, open market approach, a bold gamble that could reshape the nation's economic landscape. Proponents promise that stronger, more independent regulatory bodies will be established to act as a safety net, ensuring that national interests are protected even as foreign participation increases. But critics are raising tough questions. Are our regulators truly prepared for this enormous responsibility? Can they effectively safeguard the public interest? The Act's scope is sweeping, touching nearly every major industry, and its potential impact on the economy, society, and even national identity could be profound. The debate now centers on a crucial question. Will the benefits of increased investment and growth truly outweigh the risks of foreign dominance and loss of control? Will this reform spark a new era of prosperity, or could it open the door to unforeseen dangers and vulnerabilities for the nation? The answer to these questions will help define the economic future of the Philippines for generations to come. The stakes have never been higher, and the nation now stands at a crossroads, facing a decision that could shape its destiny. Supporters of the Bagong Pilipinas Act envision a booming, modern Philippines. They argue the 40% cap on foreign ownership is outdated and stifles growth. Lifting restrictions, they say, could bring billions in investment and create millions of jobs. Imagine new factories, tech hubs, and better infrastructure, opportunities for workers and entrepreneurs alike. More competition in utilities could mean faster internet, lower bills, and improved services. Supporters dismiss fears of lost sovereignty, insisting strong laws will protect national interests. They see protectionism as a path to stagnation, not strength. For them, opening up is about prosperity, not surrender. They promise a cycle of growth that lifts all Filipinos. Their message: it's time to compete on the world stage. The future, they say, is open. The opposition warns, removing economic safeguards risks our sovereignty and future. They fear foreign giants will crush local businesses, sending profits abroad. Promises of better services may not materialize. Privatization elsewhere has led to monopolies and higher prices. Essential services could become less accessible, especially for the poor. Critics doubt the government's ability to regulate powerful foreign corporations. If we struggle with local monopolies, how can we control global giants? They worry about foreign influence in education and media, eroding Filipino identity. National security is at stake. Should we hand over critical infrastructure to outsiders? The risks, they argue, are too great to ignore. For them, the Constitution's protections are a vital shield, not a shackle. Experts are split. The debate over lifting economic restrictions is intense, with passionate arguments on both sides. Proponents, like economist Dr. Bernardo Villegas, say lifting restrictions could boost GDP and create jobs. They argue that opening up the economy will attract much-needed capital, spur innovation, and help the Philippines compete on a global stage. They see foreign investment as the key to a dynamic, competitive economy. Supporters believe that with more foreign players, local industries will be pushed to improve, leading to better products, services, and opportunities for Filipinos. But others, like Professor Salita Monsod, urge caution, warning that without strong institutions, we risk trading local oligarchs for foreign ones. She emphasizes that reforms must be paired with safeguards to protect national interests and prevent exploitation. Sudden liberalization could bring instability if not managed well. Economic shocks, market volatility, and social unrest are real possibilities if changes are rushed or poorly planned. Political analysts debate the risks. Some see this as a sign of political maturity, a willingness to adapt, while others fear it could be a Trojan horse for deeper, potentially harmful changes to the system. The line between economic and political reform is thin. Adjusting one often means affecting the other, making the process even more complex and contentious. Once the process starts, it could spiral beyond its original intent. Unintended consequences may arise, and the scope of reform could quickly expand, making it difficult to control. Critics argue that energy spent on charter change might be better used fixing corruption and improving governance. They believe that addressing these root issues could yield more immediate and lasting benefits for the country. The debate is as much about trust in our institutions as it is about economics. People question whether reforms will truly serve the public or just a select few. The challenge: can we open up without losing control? Can we welcome change while safeguarding our sovereignty and values? The answer will shape our nation's path for generations to come, influencing not just our economy, but our identity and future. The stakes are real and personal. Every Filipino will feel the impact, making this debate one of the most important of our time. The debate rages far beyond Congress, on social media, in jeepneys, and at family tables. Hashtags, hashtag yes to progress, and hashtag noto, cha-cha trend side by side. Young entrepreneurs see opportunity, farmers fear for their land. Polls show a nation divided. Urban optimism meets rural skepticism. Many distrust politicians, doubting who will really benefit. Business groups back reform, hoping for growth. Labor unions, farmers, and religious leaders rally against it, warning of inequality and exploitation. The media is a battleground of clashing editorials and opinions. Filipinos are not passive. They're debating, protesting, and demanding answers. The future is being shaped in every conversation. The nation waits as the fate of the Bagong Pilipinas Act hangs in the balance. If Congress approves the amendments, a national plebiscite will follow. Filipinos will have the final say. A yes could usher in a new economic era, with Congress drafting laws to open up industries. If the act fails in Congress, the status quo remains. Supporters call it a missed chance, critics a victory for sovereignty. A compromise is possible, liberalizing select sectors while protecting others. Whatever the outcome, the political landscape will shift. The debate has awakened political awareness and will influence future elections. The journey of this act is a defining moment for the nation. The discussions today will echo for years. The stakes, our economy, our identity, our future. The next chapter depends on the people's choice. History is being written now. This isn't just a political debate, it's about your life. If the act passes, you might see faster internet, lower bills, and more jobs. Small businesses could find new partners and markets. But risks remain, local brands could struggle, and essential services might become pricier if not regulated. Job security could change, and foreign influence in schools and media could reshape our culture. The debate forces us to ask, do we embrace globalization or protect what's ours? There's no easy answer. Both paths have promise and peril. Your voice matters. Stay informed, listen, and speak up. Discuss with your family, your friends, your community. The future shouldn't be decided behind closed doors. We all have a stake in what comes next. The story of the Bagong Pilipinas Act is still unfolding. Be part of the conversation that shapes our nation.